This used to be, like I say, the jail. This was actually the kitchen.
Okay, right.
They had a dumbwaiter in this corner, staying the meals upstairs.
Ah, okay. All the cells are upstairs, administration and kitchen.
That was the original cells, were all upstairs in 1912.
Okay.
In 1930s, they built the wing off of it.
Okay.
But this is where they put the trays through for the prisoners down here.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So I turned it into that.
Okay.
But on the other side, I turned into the post office.
Yes, sir.
This is at the serving window.
Okay.
So these two came out of Odell, and there's where our first post office is, right down the street. See, we're on Cumberland. This is Wilbarger.
Yes, sir.
And so we're about right here,
Okay.
down the street.
All right.
That's where the post office was on that corner. And then there's, of course, Okie Unions, Harold's and Okie Unions and Vernon's, but some of their first post office. It's hard to believe that this post office we have now was built in 1917.
Wow. Looks fairly modern.
Yeah. Okay, all these yardsticks, there's over 100 of them in here, none of them the same.
Okay.
And you see,
Those used to be giveaways too.
oh yeah, and everybody used them.
Hardware stores.
And I still use them, don't you?
Well, no.
I use them a lot in here.
I think maybe I have one left. But I've kind of been downsizing on a lot of things.
This is one of my favorite ones. My son worked for this sign company. It says stolen from Quality Sign Service.
Okay.
I thought that was a pretty good idea. This is a check protector. You stick the check in it, turn it wherever you need it, pull it down, punch the holes in the check.
Ah.
On the other side is a coin dispenser, and it dispensed. It's dated 1890.
Wow.
And you can see it dispense silver dollars.
Right. Huh.
This is the Wagner National Bank. Back in the day. And if you look in the bottom right hand corner, you'll see that set of tracks. See them right here?
Oh, top one up there.
Yeah.
I'm glad I put that extension out where I can get a little bit higher.
Now look down in the bottom right hand corner, and you'll see those tracks.
Yes, sir.
That's the trolley car. Here's the trolley car, and there's a piece of the track.
Okay. Amarillo had a trolley car system too, but it was not financially feasible.
This one was horse-drawn.
Okay.
It went from the courthouse to the railroad. They'd unhook the horse and hook it on the other end.
I like that photograph back there too.
And this little wagon, you see this little brass plate on it? It's sold by A.T. Merchant in Vernon, Texas.
Okay.
He sold and nailed those on the actual wagons he sold here in 1882.
Okay.
Now this is a foot scraper from out at the Reins. See, there's a triple D on it. And it's where E. Paul Wagner hung out, not in. And anybody that's had a brush on each end.
Okay.
And they come up and they say, "Where's E. Paul?" And they say, "Not in." He didn't want to be bothered. This is my grandpa and his mule back there.
Okay.
Now this little anvil was dug up north of Electra in what was the Wagner colony.
I'll say.
A guy was running his hand plow and he hit it, thought it was a rock, and he was going to throw it out of his garden.
Yeah.
He called me. It's in Berlin, Texas. He told me, and I said, "Man, you just name your price.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to have to have it." He said, "If you want it that bad, I'm going to give it to you."
This gasoline station is a day back when there was full service.
Oh, yeah.
And freebies.
Yep. And then, like I said, I was a kid working for my brother-in-law, and I went out there and you watched their headlights and their tail lights and their windows, everything.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Check their oil level, check their tires. And clean their windows in many cases. Or
Oh yeah.
windshield.
Now,
Wow.
this is where they used to, this counter is where they used to check them into jail. They'd bring them through that door,
Okay.
and they'd either take them upstairs there, or they take them back here.
Ah, okay.
Now, I was originally, when I found all these over the years, the different cages from Vernon,
Right.
well, I just thought I'd hang them down the wall and then hang a description over the top. But when I saw this counter, I said, no,
Yeah.
there's my bank.
Yeah.
So I built this to hold my cages. This is all wood, and every piece of it is dated 1892.
Wow.
And it was the Cattlemen's and Merchants Bank. It evolved into the Wagner National Bank. This is a Wagner one. That's a Herring. And this Wagner one is in this picture. So this cage is one of these.
Oh, okay.
But this marble base here is right here. And so I'd buy stuff over the years, which I've collected about 50 years. I would box it up, label it, what's in the box, and then when I started opening and getting it out, I knew what I was gonna do with it, pretty much.
Right.
And here's some more giveaways. Only this time it's the bank's giving them away. Also, yeah, just good stuff. Advertised on stuff, so every time you picked it up, you remember them.
That's right.
All these decks of cards from the Wagner Bank, First State Bank, and whoever,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
Now, if you
Now,
want to
notice
see
from the outside, this is one reason why I figured this building was an old jail,
you saw this door.
because that steel grate there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. There's
Iron door.
over here I've got, these are 56 Cadillacs. And that's a 54 Buick. And you see this up here where it says safe deposit on that up there inside the Wagner Bank. It says safe deposit backwards.
Okay.
It's right there above you. Right here.
Ah.
That's late 40s.
Right.
I found one half in one dump ground and the other half in another dump ground.
Wow.
It's crazy where you find this stuff. These little banks here that the Wagner National Bank had,
Yeah.
they didn't give the kids the key. When they got it full, they brought it to the bank. The banker had the key. He would open it and put it in a savings and give it back to him.
Wow.
Pretty good idea.
Tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, they had some really great ideas back in the day.
Yeah.
Stuff that actually worked and not like it is today.
Right. And I remember as kids, we could buy savings bond stamps. We had a little booklet we could put our stamps into.
What's your steps? I'm just starting to get this together. I've got my heating and cooling now. So now I've got to fill the windows with this styrofoam. And then we're going to clean all this up. Not going to paint it. I don't want it pretty.
Yeah.
I want jail to look like hell.
Looks like a jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when kids see it, they go, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't want none of that.
Right.
And then I took the cell. See that distance between the wall and that cell? Go on in there. You go. Go on in there. I won't knock the door. Hell, I won't. All right. And that's where this guard vault.
Okay.
Okay, he could go all the way around. Come outside there, he goes in there, comes all the way around to this, and never stepped in a cell.
Okay. Right. Right.
Now, in this one, I'm building the research center. I mean, this whole thing is a work in progress, man. Like step.
All right. So this is your research facility here.
Yes, I have all the school annuals from Vernon. Then I have Lockett, Northside, all these little towns are hooked to Vernon.
Right.
And the big city, I guess you would call them What is it? So,
Well, yearbook.
what do they call them in the city when they got that little bitty towns off of it, kind of?
Suburb?
Yeah,
Suburbs.
That's
Okay.
kind of
Gotcha.
how these are off of Vernon.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Anyway.
Gotcha.
Yeah, see, like I said, here's where that guard can walk.
Yes, sir.
And then I've got a good copy machine, but most of the time now,
Oh, and there's actually a locking door in between the
absolutely, down every one of them.
various sections. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably a good idea.
And here's got a great copy machine, but now everybody comes in, takes their phone, takes a picture,
Yeah.
and here's
Yeah.
all the city directories from now back to 1918,
Wow.
full set.
Wow.
Took me a long time. I got a full set here and a full set at home.
Okay. Yeah, city directories, they've all pretty much gone digital these days, I think.
Yeah, but all that history is gone.
Yeah.
None of this stuff I have in here. I had a guy come through here and he said, well, if I wanted to know that, I'd just, go to the internet. And I said, well,
Right.
I hate to tell you this, son, but everything that's on there, a human put on there.
Right, right.
And all that stuff in these city directories here
Mhm.
have not been put on there.
Yeah, they haven't been digitized.
Right.
One other thing, I noticed this key.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a key right there.
I had to have that one made.
Okay.
The local man here, he did a good job. He built this one. He took it apart and he made this key.
Okay. Well, it looks like that would be a pretty hard lock to pick there.
Oh yeah, yes, it's most definitely.
Wow.
That's why even when he made this key, he had to take it apart to get inside to make it.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like maybe there's some new bolts there
Yeah.
too. Okay. Oh, and then this was a little door that they would pass
That's where they
through.
feed you.
Yeah, okay.
That's where the little old tray, usually a little metal tray they had food in, they'd stick it through there.
Right. And this is so you could hear something on the other side
Right,
of
this
this.
one used to be clear enough.
Door. I mean,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
solid steel.
You're not getting
Wow.
out of here.
Wow. I don't want to get locked
But you
in.
know what? They don't, these new jails, they tell me just so nice, they wouldn't want to come back to this one.
Yeah, yeah.
They absolutely wouldn't
I
want to come back to
understand that.
this. No heating, no cooling. I mean, I just installed this stuff.
Yeah.
The only thing they had in here is they had some blowers. They were wearing a couple of windows to kind of circulate the air.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But other than that, they didn't have any heating and cooling.
Okay. Well, I presume that these cells down here, there's 4 of them,
Yeah.
were probably temporary holding cells.
Down there on the left is for the women.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just got all this stuff I put there. And so it had a little privacy here.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Now, you don't see much privacy in a male cell for sure.
But see, she would have a shower.
Yeah.
You got one. Well, they did, too. They got one there.
Yeah, I saw a shower stall, a small one.
Yeah.
Just, yeah. This is the
And
same
then, look
way.
what they did. They got a mirrors all metal.
Yeah. Of course, there's no glass or anything. It's all just stainless steel or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And they give you a mattress, this thing, and a pillow. One blanket. That's it.
Yeah, sure. And then I guess upstairs would be more of the
Yeah.
the long term.
A lot of that is storm damage, and I had to seal it up till we get up there and clean it up.
I understand.
See, these 2 counters I just got, they're going back in there once I get that cleaned up.
Okay.
Because that's going to be all more displays.
Okay.
'Cause
So
what
work
you're-
is always going on then.
What you're seeing in here now,
Yeah.
I've got near this much again.
Wow.
I mean, I've got a lot of stuff in.
Wow.
I mean, all the cannonballs. Got to tell you a story right quick about the cannonball. There was a huge tree out behind the old pants factory. The wind blew it over. When the roots come up, it pulled up 2 cannonballs.
Wow.
And a couple of my buddies went out there and dug around, and they got like 5 more.
Wow.
Must have been a little stack of them there over the years,
Yeah.
but that tree pulled them out of the ground.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Crazy, man. It's,
Right.
you never know where you're gonna find this tree.
That's true.
And here, since it's the rodeo, there he is, E. Paul Wagner. He is the one that put on the rodeo.
Ah, yes, sir.
That was his toy.
Oh,
We're talking about rich man's toys.
Yes, sir.
Here he is right here, leading the parade through town. That's him. And he's leading the parade through town. And back in that day, he would ride his horse right on out to the rodeo grounds. He's heading right there.
All right. I haven't even taken a photo of the arena entrance yet.
This is Poco Bueno.
Ah,
That
the
stud
one that
horse
was
made
buried,
a lot of money.
the one that was buried standing on his
Standing up.
feet.
That was the stipulations that he would be buried standing up.
Right.
And his headstone is probably this high. It's tall.
Oh, wow.
And it's all granite.
Wow. I wonder if this young lady is still around.
That is the, believe it or not, this is the first Miss Santa Rosa in 1946.
Okay.
Somebody said, oh, no, not in a 2-piece. I said, well, right there.
That is a 2-piece.
Yeah, well, right there, look at that. There's the 46.
yeah.
That's a 46.
And that's even more skimpy.
That's a 47.
Okay.
48 and 49. Then you get over here, you get down to, see? You get down to 53.
Yeah.
54's up here. Because that's my mom and dad.
Okay. Wow.
My dad's wearing that shirt.
Well, I'll say.
And my mom's carrying that program right there
Well, I'll say.
in 1954.
That's incredible memories right there.
And this is,
And you've
I've
done a
got all
wonderful
the
job
rodeo
of being able to-
programs.
Yeah.
Festus is here 3
It's
times.
amazing.
Little Joe was here April the 29th, 1970.
Okay.
I know the date because that's when my oldest son was born.
There's Festus.
3 times he was here.
Okay.
See, he's down there. And he's again on the other side.
Okay.
There's
Wow.
Tanya Tucker.
Okay. Well, I'm surprised Dan Blocker didn't make it out.
Oh, I'd love to see him.
Yeah.
This right here is E. Paul Wagner's horse stall.
Wow.
And that's his calling card.
Okay. Right above, behind the horse's neck there.
Yep. Back in the day when they first started, they used to have, they were carrying this flag, the rebel flag.
Okay.
And so I came through here, I pointed out, I said, this is the Palomino Riding Club. They carry this flag, and I pointed to this one over here.
Yes, sir.
And I heard a woman behind me say, oh, the flag, I thought she was gonna pass out. I didn't even turn around and look at her. I said, if this flag truly offends you, the door is not far from here.
Yeah.
Well, it was silent, but she stayed. And I told her, I said, and I still never looked at her. I said, I'm gonna change your mind about this flag. And she said, nope, you're not. So anyway, we went on and I brought it through and I got all, there's a Palomino on the back of his shirt that's full of tire.
Oh, yeah.
And then I got my clothing stores. You can see those bonnets. They advertise on them too.
Okay.
All of this stuff is from clothing stores. I tied my all my cleaners and all that to the clothing store to keep it flowing. And then I got over here and I got every store that's ever been in Vernon. Every jewelry store is right here.
Wow. I'll say.
And then you got, that's a 1966 Letterman's jacket.
Okay.
That's a 66, that's a 26. I don't know what years these are. I'm trying to find out. Nobody come through and has told me yet.
Yeah.
But this one right up here, he let her 2 years. He's 29 and 30.
Wow.
And that's the 26 football team. And this is some 26 shoulder pads.
Oh my. I'm trying to get a close up of those.
Sure. Now, that's my
So
granddaughter's.
that's felt underneath the leather.
Oh,
Looks like.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's my granddaughter's megaphone.
Okay.
And this girl right here has passed away.
Oh,
So I'd get her in there good because she's no longer with us.
Vernon Lions.
And this right here is the maroon and white Vernon, north side, Oka Union, Harrell. And then you go down to Lockett.
Okay.
And then you go back up to that green and white. And that's the semi-pro football team from Vernon called the Berlin Vikings.
Oh yeah.
And I had somebody come, they said, oh, well, they wasn't very big with that jacket. I said, well, you better look at this over here because it's tucked under.
There you go.
It's a big boy.
Wow.
But then that's a semi-pro football team. This is our semi-pro baseball team.
Okay.
And this is their actual ball, the official Longhorn League.
Okay.
And that little one they threw up in the stands says the Vernon Dusters 1949.
Wow. There's some other small examples there.
This right here is the actual runway lights off of Victory Field
Whoa.
where we had our races.
Okay.
And then when you went through the training at Victory Field, because it was the Army Air Corps, we didn't have Air Force.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, and this is the goggle case because it was open cockpits that you can see up here. And that's why the goggles. Then when you
Yeah.
graduated, you got that book over there and your starting silver wings.
Okay.
There's some
Wow.
good stuff here too. This down here is World War One. They had a lot of horses in World War One,
Yeah, sure.
and this is a water/feed bucket. See how
Okay.
it collapses?
Right.
Then they could hang it on the saddle horn,
Right.
and then that's a lot of horses they had to eat. And this guy stepped on it. You can tell the landmine. All the shrapnel blew straight up through him.
Oh my.
He died instantly.
Wow. Well, that's
So
sad,
this is
sure.
World War One. This is all World War Two.
I'll say.
You want to open them and eat that stuff right there?
Ah, I don't think so.
I
There's
don't
people
think
that
I
do
wanna-
that on YouTube.
Oh man, I don't want to eat none of it. I'll guarantee you.
Yeah.
Okay, now here we go back to big boy toys. The Ranchito Polo. This is Buster Horton, and Buster Horton signed the ball, and this is his polo spurs.
Okay.
And there's their helmets, and their tickets, and their brochures, and their trucks.
Wow.
And so I got to this point. I said, all right, let's get back to that flag. I said, there's the Palomino Riding Club. They're carrying the rebel flag. I said, it looked so good when they were doing their maneuvers.
Yeah.
I said, I mean, they just look great, man. All this color with those.
Right.
And I said, if me hanging that flag over there makes me racist or prejudiced or however you want to call it, why did I put a black man on a pedestal?
Yeah.
And I turned around, that lady was smiling. I said, see, you earn your right being put on a pedestal. I could care less what color you are. And so I said, this man sent 3 boys through college selling hot tamales out of that wagon right there.
Okay.
On the
Wow.
street corner.
Wow.
I also told him, the way he built this, white boy would have give up
Yeah.
because he didn't have an axle. But he went and bolted the front forks off of 2 bicycles.
Oh yeah. I
On
see that
each
now.
side.
Sure did.
But he got it made.
Yeah.
And like I say, he sent 3 boys through college. It wobbled on him, so he had to have a brace tacked on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But he worked from daylight to dark. That's the reason he painted the aluminum up here in the evening. When the headlights hit it, it would light up.
Oh yeah.
Over the years, he'd gone up on the price, so he slopped paint over it. You can see how it ran. And then he never did put a price on the outside of it again.
Yeah.
My dad bought hot tamales from this man nearly every day
Wow.
and carried a roll of Tums in his shirt pocket.
Wow.
My dad loves spicy foods. And this guy here made I tell my Mexican friends, I'm sorry, but this black guy made the best hot tamales in the world.
Yeah.
The best. And I mean, it just, he would make 15 dozen a day, and he would sell them all before he went home.
I see. Now, would he actually make those, or
Him and his wife. Yeah, both of them. They both made the hot tamales.
Oh, okay.
His oldest, I'll tell you how I got this card. For 50 years, I hunted for this card.
Wow.
And they did a write-up on me in the Wichita Falls paper. I didn't have the museum then. I had one room at my house I had a lot of stuff in. And the last quote, I was looking for this. And I was really about to give up. 10 years later, Wichita Falls says, hey, if you gonna do another story, sure. So we do it, last quote again, I'm looking for this. My phone rang, because we had the internet then. My phone rang, the guy says, this is Michael Dean. I said, who? He said, Harvey Dean's son.
Wow.
I said, I'm listening. He said, I take the Wichita Falls paper online. I read where you thought so much of my dad and his business. I want you to have his wagon.
Wow.
I said, I will come and get it right now. Tell me where you're at.
Well,
He said, so-and-so, Arizona. I said, oh, God.
oh,
man.
my.
He said, don't worry about it. We're going to bring it to you.
Oh, good. And they didn't tear it up.
No.
It appeared.
All I did was clean it up enough. My son straightened these letters up a little and put this back on there.
Okay.
And see how he carried that bale?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If you were walking down the street across the way, he would just kind of hit that bell a lick or two.
Okay.
So you'd notice he was there.
Right.
I mean, he didn't just ring
Right.
it, he just,
Right.
but, man, that makes me hungry every time I get to this part and I get hungry, because he did make the best hot tamale.
Wow.
I mean,
Makes me want to try one right now.
I found one that's good.
Oh, so.
But anyway, that's this right here, that dancing sign.
Yes, sir.
Me and my wife went out to the rodeo, and it was kind of drizzly rain, and I looked over there, and they had this stowed across a little mud puddle, walking on it. And so we went to the rodeo, then we went to the dance, and I looked over, and it was still across that little mud hole.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I guess you're going home with me. And I just throwed it in the back truck.
Wow, so.
So you can tell they nailed it up several times, because the horse just chewed both sides.
Yeah.
So it's been
Yeah.
nailed up, no telling how many times.
Right.
The next trip, it was going to the firebox.
Oh, my.
You know that.
Well, good for you for saving it.
I guess I saved everything in here, to tell you the truth,
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's where a lot of this was headed, to the dump ground.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're both savers in a way. I'm a saver of people's memories and the stories of their memories.
That's what you do.
That kind of thing. You are a saver of
The history.
what a lot of people consider to be trash, but they're really treasures
Oh, yeah.
if they are kept in a situation like this. So I would like to make an appeal to citizens in the Wilbarger County area. You have seen some of the things that have been saved. More than likely, there are some things that you have in your attic or stuck in a book or something of that nature. I personally love photographs. And if there's some information that can go along with the photograph, these days it's real easy to make copies of photographs.
Oh,
You
yeah.
don't have to give up the original, but the images themselves and the story behind those
Right.
images are priceless
Right.
in my respect. I used to do photography, a lot of it, but now I'm doing video because, well, even when I was doing oral histories on audio tape, one thing that really hurt me was that when people would tell stories about some of the experiences they had in their life, well, you could never see that person's expression.
Right.
You
Right.
could never see where their eyes are
Right.
going as they're thinking about their story, or where they move their hands, their body language, in other words.
Right.
Well, now working with video, I get to capture a lot of those moments that we didn't have the technology to capture before, or it was way too expensive,
Right.
you know, to capture.
Well, it's kind of like I told my wife. When somebody tells you on your phone, "Have a nice day," I like to know how they said it. What was the,
Yes,
you know?
yes, makes all the difference.
Yeah, it does.
All right, now we've got YouTube, where now we can share some of these things over worldwide medium like that.
Absolutely.
And I tell you what, people traveling up and down 287, there's a lot of treats along the way.
Oh yeah.
And I'm going to be sharing some stuff in Quanah, and Headley, and Clarendon, and in Goodnight, all based on this
Right.
trip alone.